every single state in North America battling to the death. Completely unsurprisingly, the biggest state so far is the Canadian province of Nunavut, but then Alaska is right behind them. Could we see a French victory in this continental battle, or will the Lone Star State take over? There's 127 states on this map. I love these scenarios, and I've never done this before in the World War Simulator. We even got Great Britain here technically with Bermuda, and I've been getting more and more into Mexican geography. I can probably actually comment about some of these places. Before, I had no idea what to say because I didn't really know. We're even squeezing in the Republic of Colombia as well as Venezuela. We do have the Netherlands as well. What's cool about the World War Simulator, I think that really separates this game from other simulation games, is it's really not all about territory. Literally anybody can win. We have Arkansas going after Missouri. There was a peace deal between Kentucky and Indiana. What the hell is this? Okay, Greenland, I have now just learned, has extremely strange states. I'm really glad that Greenland isn't just one giant island though, because that makes them really overpowered, especially because they're in the corner here. Every simulation game gives like different advantages to, you know, different parts of the world on the, you know, geographical map. So I'm really curious who's going to come out on top here. We've got Oregon versus Washington. Portland just got stolen away. So a couple wars happening. Montana going after British Columbia for whatever reason. They actually don't have a whole lot of territory to work with. I'm imagining like a battle of Thermopylae here. They got to fight in this like really small area. Now a couple states have died, one of them being Rhode Island, the smallest US state. Probably not the smallest place on this map though. As well as Arkansas was conquered by Missouri. I like how Mexico is named Mexico, parentheses what? Yeah, that's a, yeah. Commonwealth of Bahamas has declared war on the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. That's a massive name. Why is that so big? A lot of very small states in Mexico, they're kind of getting taken out one by one. Ooh, and Nova Scotia versus New Brunswick. Durango getting into a lot of wars. Durango actually took out Sinaloa. I am smoking crack. No, Sinaloa is still here, but they're at war with Sonora. Nueva Leon is very close to getting Monterey taken. Also, Texas. What is going on? Texas, New Mexico, and Chihuahua teaming up together. Meanwhile, California going after Nevada. What the hell is that? The Republic of what? Holy crap, the map is already looking so disgusting. Kentucky was just conquered by West Virginia. Look at those crazy West Virginia borders. They also might take out Pennsylvania soon. We also have some Central American states going at it. I love this hot sauce. Let's go to, actually that's not true. I don't like Tabasco, but I just wanted to make a reference to the hot sauce. Texas is now, oh, they took reverse card on Chihuahua. Also, New Mexico died. Why? I really thought Texas was going down there for a second. British Columbia did enter into Montana, but they pieced out. Montana is now distracted with Idaho. Pretty thick Arizona we got here. Bunch of the very flat states going at it. There's wars happening everywhere. North Carolina versus Virginia, this old rivalry. Oh, we even have DC right here. Pennsylvania was made into a puppet for the West Virginia Empire. John Denver would be proud. Quebec is now entering into New England territory. Oh boy, here we go. Quebec versus Ontario. The moment all the Canadians have been waiting for. Alaska actually lost a little bit of territory to Yukon of all people. All 12 of them. Interesting that they're fighting for the Hudson Bay here. That's really the only like water territory you can take on this map. Once again, Tabasco getting a little bit bigger. Connecticut was just conquered by New York, so they've gotten a little bit bigger. Oh, and Vermont might be going down. We're about 100 nations into this, and Nunavut is still number 1. Quebec is in 2nd place, and Alaska's dropped to 3rd, at least in terms of the biggest. Yeah, these Canadian provinces are going to be threats, but you know what? They've been kind of peaceful so far. It's really just the American states that are going crazy, which is that really a surprise? Louisiana might be falling because Mississippi is knocking on that Baton Rouge doorstep. We actually took it. They might be taking Lafayette soon. Florida has lost their panhandle to Georgia. Honduras was just conquered by Nicaragua, and Sinaloa was conquered by Zacatecas. Isn't there a Zapotecas too? I think I'm just confused. Look at Texas go, as they're trying to extend their territory. Oklahoma did get into Kansas. They didn't take out Kansas. Now they have to worry about Missouri. California looking awfully ugly. Oh, Oregon got taken over by Washington, so we kind of have a Cascadian empire that's beginning to form. Maybe Washington can be that head person there. Sasquatch? Oh no, not to, oh no. Saskatchewan versus North Dakota. I'm sorry. I've never figured out how to pronounce that. Actually, when I do, I forget it. So Quebec has survived their war with Montreal. They might have even maybe taken a little bit of territory. So have New Brunswick going in after a big Massachusetts that it looks like they're trying to form a New England here, basically. Illinois was actually conquered by Iowa. Illinois also got a lot of Wisconsin too. Once again, Montana and North Dakota really leading the charge against the Canadian provinces to the north. They actually might even take this state or this province, which I have to say I'm kind of rooting for because I won't have to pronounce their name poorly anymore. Alberta with the reverse card though. Oh, Helena might get taken. Virginia and North Carolina still going at it. Cuba grabbed up Jamaica at some point. Oh, thank goodness. There they go. Okay, North Dakota, they've got it. Now New York is fighting it out with Quebec. This is very interesting. Were they possibly trying to take over Vermont first? And just look at that West Virginia that's beginning to grow. Oh, Michigan took over their rival, Ohio. We also have Veracruz going after Oaxaca. Maryland is now gone. Wow, DC somehow got bigger. I can't believe that. My birth state of Alabama fighting 2 different states at once, Georgia, and they were fighting Tennessee, not anymore. Now they're trying to grow there. They have a small area that is actually connected to the Gulf of Mexico, but they're trying to extend that, I think. Monterrey has been taken over. There goes Nuevo Leon. Dang, Arizona took out Utah, so no Mormon nation. I think that's gonna take place here. Poor Provo. I got a Provo flag. Wait, that's not it. That's Pocatello. But Quebec getting even more territory as they puppet this province out here towards their east. Oh boy, North Dakota, you might have your hands full with Manitoba. Look at Wyoming, our smallest state in terms of population. They're getting bigger. Texas seems to really be setting their sights on the Mexican states to the south. I don't think they've declared really many wars or any wars on the U.S. states yet. Boom, there goes Nebraska. At the same time, Kansas might also be taking over Colorado. Hawaii and California getting into it, but not much movement's happening. Now Washington going in after Nevada. Oh boy, Alabama, my birth state, getting closed in on from both sides. Oh dang, look at all these puppets that are happening. Okay, I'm gonna completely just ignore that because who knows, they might get their independence, they might get eaten. I don't know. Definitely keep an eye on Nicaragua. They are cornered off here. I mean, they kind of somewhat need to be concerned about Bolivar's republic, which is Venezuela. Arizona and Kansas, this is getting bigger. These wars are gonna continue to get bigger. We're obviously down to only 80 states left. Dang, no unification out of Greenland. That's really interesting, although I guess one of these places might fall. Oh, speaking of places that I'm not gonna be able to pronounce, holy crap. Manitoba looking big. They did eliminate North Dakota too. Ooh, California and Nevada teaming up on Washington. It's gonna be awfully hard to get to that British Columbia capital. It's safely guarded on this island. What the hell is that? Hugh. Guerrero might be going down. I think the biggest Mexican state is Zacatecas. Texas now moving in after Missouri finally. Mississippi looking good now that they closed in on Alabama and Louisiana. Do we have no alliances taking place? Is that supposed to happen? I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but I will allow it. Quebec is the #1 province in the world right now. Funny that no alliances are taking place, but I still sometimes see money being thrown at people, so I'm not really sure why that is. They're not friends, but oh, big collapse here. There goes Tennessee. Oh, could be puppeting. Oh, that's probably who's sending the money around. You still can have friends. They're just like your forced friendships. I can't believe Massachusetts is technically still here. They are puppet under Nova Scotia though, so I guess they got their independence from Quebec. South Carolina trying to survive. North Carolina's offensive. Ooh, Alaska taking a good amount of land from British Columbia, and Michigan's declaring war on Indiana and Iowa at the same time. Holy crap. Oh, is that because puppets? Well, we're not gonna know now because one of them's dead. Look at Minnesota go. They are fighting also multiple fronts. They are nuts over here. Literally going Viking mode apparently. Florida's still around, but they are fighting Georgia. Wisconsin did finally fall. The drunkest U.S. state of them all will not be drunk any longer. Iowa somehow still managed to keep on going. Minnesota versus Manitoba, 2 M places. Why? I don't know why I brought that up. Who cares? But kind of funny that they exist so close to each other. Kind of similar sounding names somewhat. So wait a second. What the hell's going on here? Puppets? Who has this puppet? This is South Carolina trying to gain their freedom from Florida possibly? Well, they're just gonna die instead, which might be a better death than just being a slave. A slave to Georgia. Just go out with your own. Yeah, I would just go out. Oh, DC finally got conquered by West Virginia of all people. Kansas fighting for their life. Wait, does Texas have that? How did Texas get this enclave? Probably puppeting maybe. Texas again moving. Wow, Texas is looking pretty good right now. I should have known. You can never count out Texas in these state battles. There's something really interesting. Like there's a fundamental in these simulations. You really see how much just plain raw geography makes such an impact on war and why certain places on Earth do better than others. Just in so many games, Texas does good, and it might just come down to the geography, where they're positioned on the map. I mean, you'd be surprised at how much geography affects the world. We'll get into that later, but California might finally get to Hawaii. It's taken so long. New York was just conquered by Quebec. Look at Quebec go. Meanwhile, Michigan versus Iowa, both fighting to be the ultimate Rust Belt state. Virginia took out the Bahamas. Somehow, the Dutch are still here fighting against the Venezuelans. I don't even really know what's going on in the Caribbean. We've got Newfoundland. Okay, well, the Canadian province of Newfoundland started eating these islands in the Caribbean. They wanted an island getaway. Bam, that's a big Texas. But they do need to be somewhat concerned about Arizona. Washington was killed by British Columbia. Now they're fighting Nevada. Big old Manitoba. Texas has moved into the first place U.S. state ahead of Alaska, but they're not first place in general. That would be Quebec. West Virginia's got a lot more money. This is the ultimate war. Virginia versus West Virginia. West Virginia's got the economy on their side, but the other Virginians, very close to that capital. This is probably the most interesting war that's happened. So, oh, they might reverse card not. Oh no, Michigan, that's evil. Oh, closing down on them from both sides like a no-no Germany in World War II. I don't mean to oh, you pieced out. I'm sorry, I didn't. West Virginia's been through enough. They don't need to be compared to a no-no Germany of World War II. Now Idaho really angry at both Wyoming and Arizona at the same time. This is just this is really interesting. There are no alliances, but I mean, when you puppet somebody, that is basically your alliance. I kind of wish that the alliance map mode would show that instead of me having to click. Texas now moving in after Mississippi. Oh, Georgia finally took out Florida. Oh, Oh, Florida is still here in the Keys somehow. There's 43 nations left. Nunavut, very big, and they're being fed by this Greenland state. Alaska again trying to take out Yukon. If there's not a power that grows out of out of Mexico, Texas is going to take all this stuff over, I think. And it's just so interesting because Texas is technically surrounded, but they're doing pretty good. Obviously, their capital's nice and safe in Austin, which is like centrally located. Those poor states that have their capital along other state borders, they didn't fare too well here. A lot of places in New England, for example. Is it even possible to attack Prince Edward Island? I don't think it is. They're going to have to get puppeted and then eaten. Only a couple of Mexican states still exist. That's Veracruz, Jalisco, Zacatecas. Oh, California did annex them. Wow, that's a very long... That's almost a Chile, California. Oh my goodness. No way. Okay, the Texans has stopped the aggressive Missouri front. Wow, Texas is not looking good, but they can maybe get that back. They kind of have their old weird borders again. Finally, Nicaragua making some moves. Remember when Texas looked like this back in the day? Yeah, that's kind of made a comeback somewhat. Even connected to Mexico. Cuba now again getting into the peninsula. Missouri, oh my goodness. Missouri just took over Austin. They had to move to formerly Duck Blind 3. What the hell is that? It's not Houston. Whatever. Oh my goodness. Now they've had to move it down to McAllen. Weird because Georgia is trying their best to also take out Missouri. What is Missouri got going on right here? West Virginia is still alive, but their new threat. Wow, they actually, I can't believe they're still alive. So they ended up beating Virginia. Look at Nova Scotia. Oh, there goes West Virginia. Okay, so they're gone. Manitoba looking awfully very big. I mean, there's all these Canadian provinces looking really big. Bam. And there goes Jalisco. And Nevada finally take out California. Idaho getting a little bit of space back from Manitoba. Here goes Quebec. Oh my goodness, they are cleaning house. And they might just take over this Michigan capital. I think they'll be able to move it at least once, though. Oh, they don't need to worry about that. Here goes Alberta fighting for their freedom. Nevada's out of money, which means they are done. Idaho's getting all of that. That's quite the surprise. Money is getting sent around now. Okay, I think there goes the Venezuela, or I don't know who had that. Oh, that was Nicaragua. They're gone now. Texas is also gone. Missouri did. I cannot believe it. Texas fell. No Alamo here. Well, maybe there was an Alamo, but they eventually died. Doesn't look good, California. They moved their capital down to, oh, they've been puppeted. This could be the end. Can't believe Idaho's doing so well. They're both sides closing down in on Arizona. Wow, I did not think we'd just see this big of a, oh wait, you know what? I'm confusing Missouri and Georgia. They've got similar colors. Technically, Missouri is the second biggest state though in the entire map, then just behind Nunavut. California, this might be it. They're running out of money quick. So many puppets getting thrown around again, but there's a lot of fighting that's happening for their independence. California just barely exists, just as they're pretty much just Thousand Oaks. Really random cities I'm noticing in this map. Manitoba's just fallen. Michigan's looking even big. Okay, Michigan's gonna have to hold up the U.S. They're gonna be the only ones that maybe stop Quebec. Well, that's not good. You can't have Georgia backstab you like that. Oh, chaos ensuing now between Missouri and Idaho. Again, Idaho did finally kill off California. Zacatecas now looking pretty good. Meanwhile, Veracruz fighting for their life. Can't believe it. There's still technically 21 nations left. Oh, 20 nations left. All right, Veracruz is now the de facto Mexico here. Georgia's been getting a lot bigger because they've been taking stuff away from Michigan. Wow, Georgia's also made this jump over. Whoa. Oh, and they've been puppeted. Whoa. A crazy turn. Look at Georgia go. So U.S. states still around. It's Georgia. It's Missouri. Missouri's looking kind of bad though. Idaho. And it's actually just, oh, Alaska. That's right. Well, technically Michigan too. Michigan's probably going to die literally any second. Alaska's still got a chance up here. Bam. There goes Idaho. My bad. Oh, Hawaii's still here. I forgot about that. Wow. The crazy reverse card Georgia has done. It's Missouri or Georgia that really are the only ones that have a chance here in terms of U.S. But the funny thing is there's a lot more. Oh, there's actually not that many chances. The Canadians only have Quebec and Nunavut left. Greenland is still here. They still exist. Meanwhile, everyone needs to watch Veracruz. They're getting pretty big. Holy crap. And there goes Missouri. Now, Hawaii's landed. This is going to be the thorn in their side right here. This strange department. There's 11 nations left. The funny thing about Veracruz is like, oh, they ran out of money. This tends to be the biggest weakness of Mexico. Historically, whenever nations attack Mexico, they always just have to blockade Veracruz and then Mexico just dies. So it's kind of funny that this became the most important or the last standing Mexican state. It is probably the most important in terms of war and keeping that not embargoed, not, oh, well, they're dead. Not, what am I trying to say? Blockaded. There you go, blockade. Georgia somehow still going. Look how big this Georgia is, but they are in the middle of the map. That's going to be their problem. There's 8 nations left, still 2 Canadian Wow, Greenland's still going somehow. Georgia has puppeted this department, which means they might be able to slowly begin to eat that up. If they don't have to fight, oh, well, they have to fight down here, of course. Crazy to see how far Quebec has fallen. They're down to 0. They're just a puppet. They were so close to winning this. I guess same goes for Nunavut. Georgia being fed by by all their puppets. Wow. Now Alaska's become a puppet. Georgia literally controls the world right now. The entire world, unless, oh, they have to still go after Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii's now been made a puppet. I've never seen such a dominant performance on the map. I think they could just peacefully, did they just basically win? Everyone's giving them all the money. That's crazy. Greenland momentarily fought for their independence, but that didn't work out. What a dominant last performance. Don't think I've ever seen Georgia win one of these.
Big ol' thanks to my patrons. Drew's Argentinian grandpa. Lucas,
the Canadian goose from
Avaca.
Drew har förvisats från Sverige för brottet att vara dans.
Amateur archaeologist. Carmel S. Connor Beautiful. Megan.
Frederick, your dad, back with the milk.
Look out, Wizards. King.
Sevi, if you hear this, and Tamron.